Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kaynah Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spades, alpha male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You want to hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations, the new season, by the way. My name is Kaynah Lassiter.
Say it with me now, alpha male G-O-D, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm always in the building.
You know how we do it. 2 topics in 1 hour. The first topic is code, C-O-D-E, code. And the second topic is when trauma becomes a crutch. Let's jump right into code because it covers so many things. I think this actual show idea came from one of our listeners who is in the middle of a breakup, and one of his homies reached out to his ex-girlfriend just to check on her. But it brought us to the conversation of code between men and women's friends, family, whatever. We're going to cover it all. And we're going to start with you. I think actually, for me at this age, code, the conversation of code, I actually hear come from men more than women for one reason or another.
Women ain't got no code, conduct, morals, or anything else.
That's not true. We have morals.
No, you don't. Y'all will steal another woman's man, and then y'all say some shit like, well, my love language said that if
that is not true.
We were meant to be together, soulmates, some kind of way. I don't owe her anything. They're not married. They single. What are you talking about? Y'all do say those exact same things. So I don't really feel like y'all have code. But even with that being said, there's not a lot of guys that have code in this generation. So we're basically in a world where it's every man for itself. Now, if you're talking about the topic at hand, I'm not really a big fan of intermingling couples with other couples. Now, I'm not talking about like going out on dates and stuff like that, but what I'm saying is like, should I be friends with my homeboy's wife? Like as far as like have her phone number, being able to call and check on her, being able to do those type of things. Is code. I don't believe in that. Matter of fact, like even when, like if my homeboy was to introduce me to his lady and be like, hey, this my woman, I don't even really make contact with because he's saying like this is his main lady, this is his wife, this is his boo, this is his thing. So I don't never really like to come in a disrespectful manner because it's just like, I know most people look at it crazy, but even it's just like a pimp, and when he have his hoes, like you don't make eye contact. You know what I'm saying? You could lose someone can knock off one of your hoes by eye contact. And it sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So really, when it comes to that, I really feel like you're talking about code. I really feel like you're not supposed to do that. Now, in this situation where you're talking about, we had someone that reached out to us and they like, look, me and my lady broke up. His homeboy checked on her. But see, the problem with that is when he checked on her, he's just saying how she doing, but they still in contact. So just because he says, how you doing, she took it in a way of, well, tell your homeboy to stay out of my DM. So it's not like he called or anything like that.
And said anything inappropriate.
Yeah, he didn't have.
But the way she gave the ex-boyfriend the message was, hey, you need to keep your homeboy out my DMs, making it look like he did something inappropriate, which to me brings me to the point that you made. It's probably inappropriate intermingling because that's the type of shit that happens. She couldn't say that if he didn't DM her. She wouldn't have anything to report if that guy's friend wasn't in her DMs. It's kind of like what I've always said in the area of cheating. Men do certain shit that give women power. At this point, him just checking on her gave her power because it's something she's able to use over the boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Tell your homeboy, stay out my DM.
So, but see,
she was just being petty.
But see, these are, and she will be in, was being petty, but the argument a lot of times that come up is that's insecurities that most people are dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why can't he check on her? Or were they friends? And see, that to me is like when it comes into play. Like, sometimes we can get technical to be like, who knew who longer?
First, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was you introduced to her through your homeboy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, and just for me, I ain't speaking about nobody else, this and that. I kind of take the 50 Cent approach. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, like, if it's me and my homeboy, and then he break up with her, his enemy is my enemy. If she become his enemy, she is my enemy. There is no checking up on her. I don't believe in that. You know, I'm not saying everybody stick by that code, but I stick by that code. Like, if my homeboy say, hey, well, I don't fuck with her no more. You know what I'm saying?
Then you don't fuck with her either.
This is my enemy. She become my enemy. I don't give a damn how many times we done hung out. I don't give a damn, like, how, you know, how many times we done chilled, talked, or whatever. If that's my homeboy, and I'm talking about my day one, A1, if that's my homeboy and he declare war on her, that war is at my footsteps too.
The only reason why I'm going to play devil's advocate here is because I know a young lady in the same exact situation in reverse. She's best friends with a girl who's getting a divorce after 20 years of marriage. Now, these two women have been best friends for over the 20 years. So she's been by the side of this couple for a very long time, over 20 years time, okay? Because she's known the girl and she knew them when they were dating and not even married yet. So for her, now that there's a divorce, they can all be at a place together and this guy will walk in and my friend feels some type of way if he doesn't speak to her. Because she's been out by herself and the ex-husband has run into her and say, hey girl, how you doing? Not even talk about the ex-wife. Now, from my friend's perspective, I've been this guy's friends just as long as I've been my friend's friend. So for her to see him in public by herself and he speaks, buys her a drink, but when she's with his ex-wife, he don't say shit. He don't say shit to the ex-wife. He don't say shit to the person that he formed a relationship with. And understand, I'm still now checking my mental Rolodex. There have been times where I'm like, let's take Christmas Eve or Easter, for instance. Girl, what are you doing for Christmas Eve? Girl, so-and-so coming over. They coming over. He making the macaroni. Talking about the ex-husband of her friend. He made the macaroni for holiday parties. He knew all of her family. So soon as he gets a divorce from her friend, all that stuff stops. And he was an intricate part of holidays and stuff like that. We're talking about a 20-year span. So I think if we're talking about code, just keeping it basic, there are some circumstances where code just doesn't even... Out of all the conversations we had about this guy not speaking to her, she has never brought up the word code, saying, well, maybe he, just feels different because, I'm with his ex-wife. And so code would be, just not speak to any of us. So, like, women, you're right. Women don't use that example of things or use that word period because we look at circumstances and we also take note of those circumstances, and those circumstances will dictate how we treat that person, whether they are an ex or whatever. They broke up, still together, or back and forth. And you know what? I'm going to say this, especially for women. Let me just make this one point because I know women will relate to this. You break up with your girl, okay? Bad breakup. Your girl come talk shit to me about you. 2 months later, girl, guess what? He sent me flowers. We've been going to dinner. He been calling. I'm on the other end now like, you got to be shitting me. You know why I'm saying that? Because I'm like, good, girl. You needed to leave him. Leave his dog ass alone. He ain't shit. You did the right thing. And now they're back together. So understand that the friend has to play they have to walk a thin line, because you can dump all your baggage and all your bullshit in my lap, complaining about your spouse or your ex-spouse, and then I can commiserate with you and agree with you and big you up, and then in 2 months y'all are back together, and I've said all this shit about this man that he can go back in your phone and look at that dog ass this you know what I'm saying? It just creates a scenario where now my friend or your friend is in a position of, do I even want my lover to be around this person that I've been talking to about this person so badly? That's just like sharing with my girlfriend, well, hey, he beats me up. Well, if I bring that friend around that guy that beats me up, she's going to have disdain for that person, no matter how happy I am. She's going to be like, she's still with this dog ass nigga, don't speak to me, don't want to see him, it creates a mess to where now, as a friend, trying to honor code or not honor code, you're on the outs because now you've commiserated with this person about how bad this guy is. So that's just on the female side of things. So that's why we don't really look at code. I shouldn't talk to him. I should give him my ass to kiss. His enemy is my enemy, or her enemy is my enemy. Because with women, you can have an enemy for 2 days, and on the third day, they're not an enemy anymore. Just like if you're a friend, or if the guy you understand?
I got you. But yeah.
If he goes back, what do you do?
But I'm not even really talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about something like a scenario that's actually going on. But
scenarios are important to how you treat people.
I got that. But you have to, when you're looking at certain things, especially when you talk about code, like the reason I say like women don't bring up code is because one thing about y'all is the thing about women is they like to leave enough room or open doors to explore a lot of different options. You know what I'm saying? So when women are sneaky like that, they slimy like that, they backstabbish like that.
Wow, sneaky, slimy, and backstabbish.
Yeah, like that. So okay. I'm gonna give you a scenario. That scenario that you just said. Okay, let's say for instance, you say they know them both times, right?
Both equal amount of times.
Equal amount of times.
Yes.
Gotcha. Now, if your friend, the one that broke up with them, they that shit is dissolved, they divorced, right?
Yes.
Okay, your friend says, this divorce is done, I don't want you speaking to her, because that's the only thing that has not happened. She has not said to her friend,
don't speak to him.
Don't speak to him no more. And this is where code will come into play. Because it's been an open door, now your friend is playing the straddle the fence type of shit, this and that.
Right.
But this is why this is important a lot of times. This is why men do this. I don't fuck with that bitch, dog. So you don't need to, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit, fuck that hoe, this, and that. Once you hear that type of shit from your dog, you like, okay, yeah, I can't fuck with her.
But another man never says, hey, don't fuck with her.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. That actually does happen.
That sound like some girl shit.
Some men are girls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, fuck. Like, we trying to live in
I don't fuck with that bitch.
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
even talk to her.
But I'm going to tell you why. But I'm going to tell you why a lot of that shit is being said. So let's say, for instance, because she's straddling the fence like that, let's say, like, one night he called her, he's in I'm feeling mad, man, I need to get out of the house. Being a homegirl, she go over there a day, and they go out together. They have drinks. One thing led to another, and she fuck him. She's not gonna fucking go to her homegirl and be like, oh shit, I made a mistake, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit funny, huh?
Yeah, because that would never happen.
That's bullshit lies that you telling. What you talking about? That'll never happen. She's a female, and she's a female with a vagina. He's a male with a dick. It can always happen. That's the reality of it. Now, because the reason I'm saying that is because if she was on code, that's the reason why you stay your ass out of those situations to begin with. That's why you did it when my homeboy did it. That's why I did it. So I would never be caught in a situation like that. Females messy like that, so they don't really care about that scenario, and they'll pitch you that line of bullshit with you saying like, well, I've known him the same amount of time, this and that. Now, I'm not saying that your homegirl slimy, might be, might not be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if that scenario is to happen, that's why that code was broken. Because if she would have stayed on the side of a homegirl when a homegirl drew the line in the sand, she wouldn't have to worry about straddling this line or a situation like that. Or a situation like that happening. That's the reason why women often do shit like that. Because it's like, well, I'll leave this door a little bit cracked open, you know what I'm saying, because this is my friend. But if some shit go down, she willing to throw away y'all friendship at the drop of a dime. Because women will do that to another woman at any cost. You done with his ass. You divorced from him. Y'all start saying shit like that. Well, you ain't want him no more, some shit like that. What? Wait,
who the fuck does shit like that?
So now we finna play?
I'm just saying, I don't know anybody that would do that.
We know a lot of people like that. We know a lot of women like that. Half of the drama series that come on TV, like, you don't watch Portia right now? That shit don't happen? I'm fucking in La La Land, right? I don't know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. We finna play?
I think that's a special situation.
No,
He's
see, all of a sudden it's always it's always a
he got a lot of money.
It's always a special situation, money involved and shit like that. Like I said, women keep that door crack open just in case I might have to slide my vagina over to him, and my friendship, why is this worth this shit? And that's why ain't no code done.
This is where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah, I bet.
We have a different opinion because I don't think men or you in general, I'm not speaking for every man, we all know that, but the men that I know that are like you or similar to you don't really put a lot of value into relationships to begin with, especially friendships. Relationship, I'm gonna call someone. That's why I'm finna separate what I said. I said two things. I said relationship and friendship. Relationship is your homeboy from the dirt. I wouldn't call your best friend your friend. I would call your best friend your family, your brother. You are in you have a relationship with your best friend.
So
his girlfriend. Let me finish. His girlfriend. That you've known, if you've been best friends with your friend for 20 years and he's been dating his girlfriend for 10, that's half of y'all relationship. There's got to be some type of care or concern you have for someone that he loves, especially if we're talking about someone he married, someone who's been at holidays, birthdays. I'm giving an example of your best friendship. Your best friend in your real life, you have a relationship with him.
I got you.
If you've known him for 20 years, and that means he's been with his girlfriend for 10, which is half of y'all relationship, you have developed you have to have, I'm not saying you did, but most people would have developed some type of care or concern for a woman that has been with his best friend for half their friendship.
Why?
Because this is the person that he's been with for 10 fucking years. How could you not have a care or concern for her? That's why I said men don't value friendships. Listen to what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
You are in a relationship with your best friend, a male relationship, two best friends, two male friends. If he has a girlfriend, he has been in a relationship for half of y'all friendship. How can you not have any concern over this person that your man, your boy, says that he loves? There's no way that my friends can really love me and not have a care or concern about who I love. You know why? Because how would you even want me out with a person that have no respect, no regard for the person that I love?
Cosmic says there's boundaries for both.
Thank you. Yeah.
I understand that, but I think the point that I was trying to make is men value relationships and friendships a whole lot different than women do. My relationships,
we have respect for it.
I've been with my guy only 7-8 years. I have a deep care for his homies. Am I calling them and texting them? No. But if my man was not available and they was broken down, and they called and was like, look, man, Kaynah, I need you. I would call my man and be like, hey, can I go help him? He was on the side of the road. Maybe he need a ride down the street or whatever. I'm just trying to make an example of my care and concern. I wouldn't be like, well, man, I don't know. This kind of goes against code. I might say, hey, you need to call my man and ask him. I might say that, but I'm not going to have the attitude that there's a boundary there, because there is a care and a concern for my husband's friends, because I've been with that guy a long time.
Okay, we done had enough of this bullshit right here. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's the thing with women, man. Y'all so fucking gullible. Y'all so fucking gullible and stupid to the point where this shit is getting out.
Gullible and stupid?
Gullible and stupid, because y'all act like y'all don't know what boundaries is. Like, and let me tell you something. Another thing. I'm so sick and tired of women trying to say this shit about like care and concern. This is what gets y'all ass in a lot of trouble right now. So I'm a dissolve and cure all this shit for you. Not to say that you got to take the advice, but you know it is what it is. Really, at the end of the day, each one of my homeboys, I could tell you, I know each and every one of they old ladies. Do I want anything bad to happen? No. Do I call their ass? No. Do I have their phone numbers? No. Can they call me? No. Know why? Because there's a boundary in fucking place. And it's a reason that shit need to be there. All this other shit that you talking about, this is why women get their ass in a world full of fucking trouble and start looking there like with a big dunce hat on their head. When they sitting there talking about something, sounding like Scooby-Doo, because they don't know what the fucking what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? When you doing shit like that, you're sneaky. You know what I'm saying? You're just sneaky. And because there is no reason why, if your old man homeboys are calling you It should not be in the plate, and y'all have no boundaries. And that's just the reality of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, because one of my homeboys called you, and especially because they got to get the number from me. So other than that, that means y'all develop a relationship where he got the number from you.
Is that strange?
And I'm going to plant my foot in both of y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to plant it in yours first, but then me and my homeboy, we going to have to circle back around. You know what I'm saying? That's how that's going down. Because there is no way on earth that I'm going for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are a lot of women out here. There are a lot of women going to be like, what's wrong with that, this and that. Know why? Because they have a bunch of beta males.
No, it's not true. It's that they were pure at heart. Ain't nobody thinking about fucking your man's homeboy. I mean, there's some women that do, but I think there's a big population of women that wouldn't go there.
Gotcha. And there's a big population of women that end up on their back and be like, we don't know how we got here. And how we got here is you being at the wrong place at the wrong time with his homeboy. You got your set of friends, and I saw this, and what's so fucking crazy is I've even seen other female podcasters that was like, they separate their friends. They do not like, and this is females that were saying that. They don't like their friends intermingle. And this is why. Because those lines can easily be blurred. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever bring like, some women have fine friends. You know what I'm saying? Those the ones that you would start changing your mind about if that was a situation with your man. Well, why is this bitch always you supposed to be my friend? Y'all never have a concern when it's like the fat friend, or you be like, I'm not threatened by no shit, this and that. But let one of your fine friends want to become his friend, and you're going to have a goddamn problem out of it. You know why? Because you know every hoish thing that she did. You know every little thing that she did. So at the end of the day, would you want your homegirl to be his friends? No.
That's why I separated. Anybody that you...
Yeah. Smoke. I'm bringing smoke today.
Just caught a visual.
I'm bringing smoke.
But
today.
I want the audience to understand the verbiage that he just used. He's absolutely right, but he also used the word homegirl. Not talking about my homegirl. That's an easy conversation to have. Should your homegirl be contacting your man? No. That's against code.
Why?
I'm not talking about my homegirl. I'm talking about my bet. That's why I use the word care and concern. You're only going to have care and concern if you're not my homegirl. You are my best friend to the dirt. You've known me and this relationship for a long time.
So your best friend can't betray you? That's what you're saying?
If I'm calling her my best friend, I'm going to say no. If I'm calling her my best friend, I have not had a best friend betray me yet.
Okay.
So unless it happens to me, and that's why I said me in particular, I'm still a little bit pure. There are some bad things just have not happened to me to make me have a pessimistic attitude like that.
Gotcha.
My friends have not betrayed me at that level.
Gotcha. Your friends probably can't betray you at your level, because what you do with your friends, a lot of times you cross the lines anyway. So it doesn't count for you because you can't say that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? If your man is smashing half of your friends, then that don't count. I'm talking about regular folks. You know what I'm saying? They understand this type of shit that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about women that's in poly relationships and y'all able to dibble and dabble and do all this other type of shit that's going on. We ain't talking about that type of shit.
Girl, come over tonight.
We ain't talking about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about regular folks. You know what I'm saying? That deal with regular shit. And I would line 20 motherfucking women up and put they best friend. I'm talking about they best friend. And if that bitch looks semi-smoking hot, semi-fine, she ain't gonna have her friend.
That's not true. Y'all gotta help me out here.
She ain't gonna have her friend.
It's a lot of cute girls that get dressed
jumping over here
at the house. They in the bathroom getting dressed, got on their thigh-high boots, got on their short skirts, and they in the bathroom taking selfies together. And they go out and they have a shot right in front of the guy that's sitting on the couch playing video games. If that's your friend from the dirt, she can have her ass out. And I'm not gonna worry about her trying to fuck my man. I'm just not. It just hasn't happened to me before.
We talking about you. We talking about you. Cause know why? You dead ass wrong. Because I know right now, a lot of women is not going for that shit because they man gonna hit them with that excuse like, I don't know, baby, she came on to me and I was drunk. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't.
Who are these people?
And, they just people that you watch on Real Housewives and all this other type of shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I do know what I'm talking about.
But I call those situations special.
Vic says her best friend would know.
Never. I just don't.
But you don't. Okay, now let's keep it in perspective. I didn't say all women. So if you have a friend that's an anomaly, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I'm not.
There are more best friends like ours than others.
In reality.
Yeah.
Cosmic says it happens in reality.
What I'm saying is like I'm not accusing every person on the planet to be like, hey, they're just gonna betray their friend. So what I'm saying still stands. But what I'm saying is the majority of the reason why a lot of women would not allow they find friend around a man is precaution, and there's nothing wrong.
But you're premeditating, not trusting the people you say you love.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, so what? People put precautions into play every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to sit there and say you're putting trust in this and that. You ever been through a phone?
Sure.
You ever been through an email?
Sure.
That's right. You're doing the same shit that I'm talking about right now. The exact same shit because you're putting that type of shit on the person that you love. The reason you're doing that shit is for precaution. Because if some shit haven't happened, then you gonna try to catch it in the mix. So that's the reason why women going through phones, they checking shit and doing that. I don't give a damn what you talking about. They doing that shit. If a man leave his phone right there, it's gonna be, and he step out that door, it's 5 minutes before that woman is in that motherfucker.
No.
So I don't give a fuck how much she love him. Not all, but most.
Whatever. I feel like most people are like me.
Gullible?
I feel like it's not gullible. It's
Yes,
believing in your person or your situation until that person or situation proves you wrong.
But sometimes,
that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying like, I've never had broccoli, but I don't like broccoli.
That's what though.
What the fuck?
But guess
you have
what?
to try the broccoli to determine that you don't like it.
But that is what I'm talking about though. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying like that scenario probably wouldn't happen. Just like the viewers right now. What I'm just saying. Well, mine haven't done that. But guess what? Y'all haven't went to the end of y'all friendship. Because most people who fall out with their friends never thought they'd fall out with their friends. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And if you ask the reason why majority of them have fell out with their friends, is typically, from the man's standpoint, the woman. A woman is why they fucking parted ways. Their friendship isn't falling apart over some other shit. 9 times out of 10, it's the woman. Wars have been started in this world because of women. Brothers have fell apart in this world because of women. The woman that they trust, the woman that they love. And guess who be fucking them? The same motherfucker that be standing right there next to him.
Yes. Cosmic say that's when you know what kind of man you got.
Bam. Bam.
Hey, TLC told
Bam. So
It
really,
come down to that.
So really, yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it really gonna boil down to a situation of that. I'm not saying that, oh, everybody just gonna betray everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but it has to have some boundaries in play.
I understand that, but this is what boundaries say to me. And I could be gullible or whatever.
Okay.
But when people set boundaries or precautions and stuff like that in place, to me, you are already putting bad juju, not only on the person, but the situation. You are looking at the glass half empty instead of full. You are going into a situation not saying, these people wouldn't hurt me. You're going into the situation saying, these people have the potential to hurt me. Do people have the potential to hurt you? Absolutely yes. But if I adopted the idea that every person that I love could hurt me, even though I know that, if I went into the situation with them with that on my frontal lobe, understand that those vibes are present. Whether you say it or not, if you're thinking it and if you're feeling it, you are projecting it on those people. And fuck yeah, it's gonna happen. You know why? Because you created that energy. I go into things as pure as heart as possible. And if they fuck me over, that's they bad. I'm not going to go into a situation thinking that these people are going to hurt me and then treat them like they're going to hurt me.
You're my little secret, and this is how we keep it.
This is the shit from behind the camera.
You know what was the best thing about that song? Like being in the same room with your girlfriend, the fact that she don't know, it really turns me on.
Because these lyrics just coming out of nowhere. And I
forgot that song says that.
Yeah, and because these lyrics just come out of nowhere. And I'm quite sure you was a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's Escape, right?
Yeah. So even though you saying that, and even if you look at Escape, and even if you look at Escape, look what was going on in the midst of that shit with Jermaine Dupri and all that type of shit. Yeah. So really, at the end of the day, I'm not saying people can't believe what they want to believe or handle things the way they need to handle shit. I just say that if some codes were in place, hold on, I let you talk.
Bullshit, bro.
If some codes was in place, you know what I'm saying, it would dial back a lot of the backstabbing. But we in a world full of drama where it's every person for themselves, and some people feel like, even if they feel like, well, I got with your man because you was done with him and I'm happiest I ever been. I feel like this is my soulmate.
That's my soulmate conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But a lot of times they wouldn't even know that or feel that way if it was some codes put in place. Now, there's a lot of people that don't go by code, and I get that. And that's why I was saying, like, a lot of people don't even go by it. Some people don't have code, conduct, morale, any of those type of things. Often, a lot now that they do not have that. So that's why you have a lot of these things going on in relationships now, because people don't have that shit.
Let me tell you something. If I went to my best friend's house, or somebody I call a friend, and I walked in and they made they man go in the back room. Oh man, I'm having company. I'm having my friends over. Go in the back room. Or or if I came over and what I had on now. Now I do have code like that. Like if I have it on low cleavage, I'm not gonna go in front of someone's man without a jacket on or something like that. Especially if I don't know him like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I have code in that way. But if I walked in her house and she sent him away, because of the reason you're talking about, boundaries and code, I would feel some type of way. Like, bitch, what the fuck do you think about me? So that's I understand. Okay, I understand what you're saying. People don't owe each other anything.
But you know what? That's a good point.
To me, energy is everything. But that's if you feel that way, then why even have a girlfriend?
But that's a good point, though.
Hey, the UK.
You might not know how she feel about you. That might tell you that all them hoish times that y'all was together and you was out doing some hoish shit.
She feels that way about me.
That's how she feels.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Steve. He in the UK.
What's up, Steve?
Thanks for listening.
I definitely agree.
So are we wrapping up this topic? Because we're doing something new now. We're going to give you one last opinion on each topic before we move on to the next. So what's you want me to go first?
Ladies first.
After hearing you, after listening to you, I understand why you have code and boundary. I don't want anybody out there to think, hey, well, damn, you don't need boundaries and codes. Obviously you do, because everybody isn't a good person. But what I am saying is I'm so big on vibes. I'm so big on energy. And I'm really, really big on being pure at heart when it comes to people you love. Not your homegirl. Not somebody you just met. People you love deserve 100% trust, and they deserve your faith in them that they're going to make the right choice. If they make the bad one, they're bad. But my heart says, treat people the way I want to be treated unless they show you different. Believe someone the first time when they show you, but show me first before I start putting boundaries in place. So I can't have her around. Well, she hasn't done anything. I just can't have her around because the world says we live in a bad place and people are untrustworthy. I'm adopting a negative attitude and I'm projecting it on the people that I love. And I just don't believe in that.
Gotcha. My grandma told me one time that, baby, you always probably be hurt by someone you love than a stranger. Mm-hmm. And this is why, and me adopting that philosophy has nothing to do with me putting out bad energy, this is and that. Just be, like, it's a such thing as having faith, and I get all that, you know what I'm saying? But having faith to me is like not looking both ways before you cross the street. If you want to put that energy out there, like I can make it cross the street without getting hit, and you don't feel like you need to look, go by all means, let your faith decide what's going on. But we call that chance, gambling. So my thing is having code, you know what I'm saying, to me, everybody does not have it. But I feel, we should, because if you want to keep a lot of things down, you know what I'm saying, and keep things in perspective, in the world we live in, it's not unicorns, rainbows, everybody ain't getting $1 million. This is a dog-eat-dog world. So really at the end of the day, just to have precaution in the play and having some code about you and honoring that code, it's nothing wrong with that. Majority of people who fall out of friendships with people are by people who they trusted and they was betrayed, and someone put a knife in their back, and we call those backstabbers. So if they would have some type of code, you know what I'm saying, that's put into play, a lot of times that would save you from that.
Could be avoided.
Yes, the backstabbers got too much information. They got too much information. That's why you're hurt.
Next topic of the night is when trauma, something that has hurt you, becomes a crutch. I dealt personally with this, like super personally with this.
I did on you 11 years ago.
Oh, shit.
You mad?
Trauma becomes a crutch. That's exactly what that is. If you do something and it stays with a person, or personally, I deal with it because I was in an abusive relationship for a small amount of time. And that trauma goes into your new relationships. Now, using it as a crutch is, it becomes your excuse every time there's a fight, or every time something goes wrong, every time you personally do something wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. It's that I was in an abusive relationship 10 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Your trauma is a crutch. I've dealt with it personally myself, and I've dealt with it dating. Every time there's an argument or every time something happens, it's related to this bitch's mental health and the shit that she done went through, and then these people that use these traumas as crutch will talk to you like you've been in therapy with them, using words that they've learned from their therapist, using well you didn't acknowledge my pain first before you gave me your opinion. Bitch, I don't know these things. You know why? Because I don't have a fucking therapist. I don't go to therapy with you. And excuse us, the people who aren't in therapy, that don't know the steps that you need to go through for healthy communication. We're just civilians here. And I think people who are traumatized to the point that they see therapists have to remember that the people that are at home is not in therapy fucking with you. That is why when you're in AA or NA, at some point your family joins, because they need therapy to be able to communicate with your ass. So I think that's going to be my gripe in this situation, is I understand the trauma because I've been through it. I don't understand using it as a crutch and then going beyond that and punishing the people around you for not knowing how to deal with your trauma or talk you through your trauma or communicate with you, period. It's kind of like, well, you didn't acknowledge my pain and you didn't do this. And these are all steps, bitch, that you learned from someone else. You sat with a therapist and they taught you how to effectively communicate and what's going on with you. None of the people on the outside know any of this. So I think it's that person's responsibility, if they are in therapy for their trauma, to take responsibility and acknowledge that the person that you are with, your friends and family, are not in there with you.
I get that. My gripe would be a little bit different because, especially in this day and age, we deal with a lot of people using their trauma of what they've been through in relationships, and they bring that baggage into it. But the thing about that a lot of times is, when I go into a relationship, I don't bring in what went wrong in my last relationship into that. You know what I'm saying, into my current relationship. I'm not saying like everybody don't do that, but really at the end of the day, when you're in relationships, they imprint, a lot of shit off for me being a man, the woman. So I have to now clean out her closet. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be shit that I don't really be wanting to deal with, you know what I'm saying? Because women like to talk. Won't you talk to me? Won't you talk to me? This and that. And a lot of times, this is why I be talking about dating, you know what I'm saying, and women having accountability for the type of men that they choose. Because this is what we hear almost worldwide, like, well, men ain't shit, and men don't want to do this, or these men don't. You just said in the last segment about putting out good energy. And my thing is fear. Fear they bring into that relationship. They don't bring in a lot of that. That's why I was talking about women you know what I'm saying, in the last segment. They often bring in the fear, and that comes with the checking the DMs, checking the emails, checking, acting like they inch high private eye, all in your Facebook, all on your Instagram, all doing. I don't even have time for that type of shit. Like when I'm dating somebody, I don't feel comfortable scrolling through a fucking Facebook to try to find out about you, or you know what I'm saying, or what you've been through. Like I honestly want to sit down with you, have a conversation with you. I can figure that type of shit out right then and there. But I hate meeting somebody and, well, I don't believe that because my last boyfriend, I'm not your last boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I see that type of shit, I immediately take that shit as a red flag. And I'm like, let me get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, really, if you going to come in with fear or you going to come in treating everything is a bad scenario, I just don't feel like we're going to ever have room to connect. You spoke about people in therapy. I would often say, if you're going to end a relationship and a relationship ended bad, get your ass in therapy. Some people be in relationships and hop out of one right into another. And I have a problem with that shit because that's how that trauma comes right back in the next relationship. They never gave themselves time to heal. Majority of times, even with women, they lose themselves in relationships. That's why you often hear me preach about know who you are in a relationship. Your man does not make you. He can make you better. You know what I'm saying? He can support you. But if you lose yourself to forget who you are and losing sight of you, and then you in a relationship like, I don't even know who I am no more. That's a little bit too much. Like, I don't even put that much stock into a relationship like that for this. I want my woman to support me, but I'm not going to bring all the bad relationships that I had and then dump that shit at her fucking doorstep. I just feel like it's unnecessary.
Well, I'm okay. So I'm gonna just give you a scenario where your past trauma can become a crutch. I think too many times when you hear that sentence, you're thinking about big things.
No.
Abuse.
I'm not saying people
cheating.
Don't do it. No, I'm not saying
there are little things. Holidays. Oh, babe, let's put up a tree. Let's wrap some gifts. Let's have a Christmas party, man. Holidays always been bad, man. Like, they ain't never been about me. Like, I just ain't big on Christmas. So now we're not doing Christmas because of your fucking checkered trauma past on what happened for Christmas. Mm-hmm. I got to give up my holiday because you're bringing that pessimistic, less joyful attitude into the holidays.
But you don't have to give it
That's it. I'm just giving an example of how and even if the person doesn't give it, how fun is it decorating the tree and you know your spouse don't want to do it? You took the joy out of everything. Yeah. Being a family and doing things as a family, it's about doing it as a family. It's definitely not the same putting up a tree by yourself and wrapping up presents and singing Christmas carols by yourself. No one does that alone. Okay. Most people have a partner or a family to do that with. So I wanted to make sure we don't skip over the little micro things or the things other people think are small. Cheating, yes, people can relate to that. But they forget about all the little things. Can we have a family dinner? Man, every time we had a family dinner back at my place, you know what I'm saying? It ended up in a family argument. I just don't want to do that. You are bringing your family woes into some shit that has always kept me uplifted. Always.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to ignore those things too that people aren't really thinking about during this conversation. Those little things can become huge because now you're messing with someone's pureness, their joy, something that really makes them light up inside because you had a bad Christmas or you didn't get lots of presents when you was growing up. So now you're ruining the other person's Christmas. Mm-hmm. You get that?
Experience is not. They say you're going up for experience and not stats.
Mm-hmm. And
definitely.
And majority of the time she does go off her experience.
Mm-hmm.
But,
for sure.
But I bet y'all wondering why I'm smiling. Every time I smile, it's because my co-host to the left of me always gives me ammo when she thinks that she's proving a point. But I whack points all the part to show them that they didn't got any. I'm glad that you brought that up, you know what I'm saying? Because even though they're small and microscopic, as you call them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times that is not the only case, because you're talking about trauma or some shit that they have, or it could just be something that they believe in. Like case in point, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West zippets.
Boy, here we go.
Because really at the end of the day, it's a family. All Kim had to do was to go to service with Kanye. Because he found the Lord. He found something that makes himself happy and wants the family to be all together and joyous. But behoove Kim to want to follow her dream and her passion of her career and what she want to do, because she don't want to be at the service with Kanye West, and the family is a family ruined. Because you brought it up, so I want to go ahead and bring this full circle. You know what I'm saying? Because when you think you got a point, you don't. People do what they want to do at the end of the day, and that's why I said earlier on, if you was listening, I said earlier on, don't wrap yourself up in your mate. So if you want to go have Christmas, Christmas doesn't halt at the end of the day with your mate. Christmas is still the fuck going on. So if you want to go to other places, you can. Because Kanye still took his ass to church, while Kim ass is out there on the pole or in a centerfold outfit or whatever, doing Glamour Girl or whatever. That shit ain't stopped no show, because they still a family. He still took his ass to Sunday service with everybody else. And that's what I'm trying to tell people right now. One monkey don't stop no damn show. So you want to go have Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying, Easter, you know what I'm saying, Kumbaya. That shit don't stop because of your mate, man. Go do that shit, you know what I'm saying. And on top of that, I will say from personal experience, because, you know, that was just made as a comment. Personal experience for me, I have a thing about Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? I'm really against Valentine's Day because it's the day of the massacres. Now, just because they got other people brainwashed and type of this shit to say it's some type of love or some shit like that, I just don't prescribe to that shit. To me, as a family, you don't have to choose one day for y'all to profess y'all love to each other. That can be 365. Y'all can create your own day. You can do whatever. You can do whatever it is that you want. So if I decide not
Tuesday.
if I decide that I don't want it to be Valentine's Day, and I've said this to women that I've dated. Look, man, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? And it's and for particular for me, it's Valentine's Day, but also I lost one of my homeboys on Valentine's Day. So it's a day to me that's just not. So I actually go into it telling women, look, man, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. If they opt not to, hey, I can't give up Valentine's Day, they free to leave.
So this is a good one. Is this a crutch?
Hold on, let me finish. let me finish. But I never said nobody don't have crutches. I never not one time said that. And so because I unlike you, I make points. I said if they want to leave, you know what I'm saying? Or they opt like they can't deal with that, because you have the option right then and there to say, hey, I celebrate Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? So this just won't work for me. Or they have the opportunity to be like, okay, I understand that and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Could we pick another day for us to have our special day? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm talking about. There are still ways to get around trauma besides just saying that's what it is.
Okay, I like the fact that it came.
Queen, I totally agree.
With me?
I don't think so.
No one ever agrees with us. Ever. It's like
I'm gonna get
I'm from outer space or something.
I'm gonna get some light switches so y'all know. Left, right.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I appreciate that, Mom. I appreciate it.
But I think the way it came full circle with you is, can we find another day to celebrate? That's usually not how the conversation finishes. Mm-hmm. Usually the conversation is, I just don't do that, Ma. Especially with an alpha male. Mm-hmm. I just don't do that. They get and you're lucky if they tell you why. Lucky, because usually I'm talking about the type of man I'm attracted to. Alpha males, leaders, men who do what the fuck they do. Yeah. And most of the time when they do that, they don't even give you a why. It's that we don't do that, and that's it.
Yeah. Miss D says, I feel you. Men should be real off the gate.
But that's what I said. I said like I would go into it saying I don't celebrate.
But that's what I asked you. Is that a crutch? You know why I'm asking you that? Is because that happened to you. I get it. Your homeboy died on Valentine's. It used to be a massacre, but now centered, joyful, pure heart Kaynah says Valentine's Day and showing love is a way to combat all the hate. People got murdered. I get it. Do we go through life, oh my God, this is the day that people got murdered? Or do we try to change that narrative? Valentine's Day, February 14th, is going to be a day of love. So you won't think about all the people who got killed. So you won't think about your homeboy that got massacred. This is a day that people are going to shower you with love. It's positive.
You got a question?
Tone Low, 107. It's a man-made holiday designed to boost the economy.
I get it. Christmas is the same way. They are what everybody's saying. Hey, Jesus was not born on Christmas. Where is the harm in taking something negative and turning it into a positive, especially if you're dealing with trauma? I can't imagine sitting in front of a therapist, and I've never had therapy, so I don't know if this is true, but I could not imagine my therapist saying, Kaynah, you lost your friend on Valentine's Day? Don't ever celebrate Valentine's ever again.
Okay.
You should continue to think negative that way. She's going to tell me to do something special on that day for positive feelings, for a positive outlet. That's what I imagine that she would do.
Black Butterfly, what if he died on my birthday?
Now, that's a good example of using trauma as a crutch. I don't think your loved ones would say or agree with you on not going out to dinner or having birthday cake because you lost somebody on your birthday. Now, I get it. It's a day of remembrance, but it's not today to be sullen, and it's not a day to project that on people who want to give you joy. I want to give you a cake. I want to give you a gift. I walk in and you like, you know, this is the day my best friend died. Get rid of the cake and the gifts. You're kidding? For what? You're commiserating and living in that. And what I'm trying to say is that makes absolutely no sense.
Gotcha. You know, the thing with women a lot of times is I really feel like women always often trying to project their feelings off to somebody else on how they feel. If I understand trying to cheer somebody up, or just like when somebody die, like I hate when people be like, you know, anything I can do. It's nothing really you can do, or they don't really have the words to say this and that. But to me, it's always about the other person. So to me, in the situation where that was just asked, say, you know, what if they died on Valentine's Day? To me, that is whether you give that person their time or they can tell you what they want to do, this and that. Like, because I don't like when people crowd my space and try to bring their type of joy off into me, because we're too different. We have two different personalities. And that's the thing that people sometimes don't understand. I get it. If you jolly and jump for joy and believe in unicorns and rainbows and all this type of shit, that's cool. But everybody don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe in giving people their own space or their opinion on what they want to do. So if they don't want to celebrate it for that day and you still want to do something with them, you can move that. You know, they can tell you a later time or date or earlier before that.
Yeah. Snakes, the new normal. You want love one day of the year or throughout the year?
Every day.
I've been saying that.
Every day. I want it every day. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, imagine waking up on Valentine's Day. A woman. I understand that your spouse next to you might be woke. Well, you know what happened on this day, don't you? I get that. Understand that this woman is going to go through her whole day, whether it's social media, phone calls, texts, with other people who do believe in that day, wishing her a happy day, asking her, what did you do today? What did you get?
So it's about them?
No, it's not about them, but it's about the way your spouse now has to answer the question, believing in those days. I believe in Valentine's Day. I didn't lose anybody on that day, and I believe in being positive. But if I wake up next to a spouse that doesn't, and I adopt his behavior, then all day long, my other friends and family are saying Happy Valentine's Day to me.
Who's saying you have to adapt their behavior?
Because that's the person that you're with. This is a relationship show.
Gotcha. But why are you saying you don't have to adapt their behavior?
Understand. You know what? You're saying that out of this. Everybody has free will. Now let's be real about being in a relationship. Ain't no way. As for me as a woman and the friends I know, they are 100% into their man. I can want to go to the beach really bad. If my man doesn't want to go, it takes away the joy from going to the beach. I can want ice cream really bad. If my man says, man, that shit made my stomach hurt last time, it changes me. I don't want to have ice cream anymore. Now it's about, okay, what can we both get joy out of? When you're in a relationship, it's very rarely about what makes you happy. It's about what makes us happy. And I'm not saying lose yourself, but it feels better if two of us are enjoying the ice cream. I don't want to go to fucking Dairy Queen and sit in front of you and eat a fucking banana split while you're sitting there talking about how I gave you diarrhea last time. It's no fun. You're taking the fun right the fuck out of it. So I don't want to do it. So I get what you're saying. You don't have to adapt this. You can just go have Christmas with your family. When you go to the house to have Christmas, guess what your family asking you? Where the fuck is your husband?
And then you give the answer. You should not be feeling no
but
type of way.
I do feel some type of way because in my heart I want my husband there. I would be asking the same question.
I understand that. But you can feel that type of way because either way it go, it's still gonna go left. So the reality of it is this, because I've been in those type of scenarios that you're talking about, and really at the end of the day, it still does. You're not gonna catch no joy either way. That is the catch. That's the catch 22. You're not because hold on, let me finish.
I know where you're going with this.
Hold on. The maze is. TJ says she worries about what everyone else thinks.
And that's not true.
And I said that.
It's what I'm thinking.
No, it's not.
But they are asking me what I won't say. I'm not going to walk in and be like, guess what, everybody? I just want to announce that my boyfriend's having a bad day. He's not going to be here for Christmas.
Come on. And you can say that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about what everybody is going to say. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Now, do you personally care?
Yes.
Yeah, you personally care. But what people are basically saying is like, you know, a lot of times with women, especially with y'all, women be in bad relationships because they care about what the other person thinks. They don't want to be alone, and they ride out 10-year relationships that's bad for them because they want to show their girlfriends and their family and everybody else that I'm in a good relationship, even if it ain't good. So what I'm saying is, if that's the case and he just don't celebrate Valentine's Day, Christmas, or whatever this and that, listen, you have a way to bypass that shit. And I just gave the bypass.
What is the bypass? Not going? Because you don't want to go somewhere and have to answer everybody, and everybody's hitting your wound. Understand, when you left the house without your spouse, you were wounded. You're just going because you can't miss it. You really, at the point my spouse tells me he doesn't want to go, I don't want to go.
You can't.
Well, that's the point.
That's your point, though.
But
that's your point.
Let me finish. I'm still sacrificing that date if I should stay home with him. Understand that holidays aren't just about you and your spouse. It's about your whole entire family. But I really want to be with my spouse, but I really don't want to neglect my family. If I go, they're going to be asking me where my spouse is, one. Remember, I'm wounded now because I wanted to be with him. So I'm already not feeling good about him not being with me. Now, answering where he is and why he's not there is opening that wound over and over and over again. Every fucking single time they ask. But decent people are going to ask because on holidays, you're with your person.
So to me, I'm going to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? That sounds good in what you're saying. But I'm going to just say this. Really, at the end of the day, I would check your family members. Because, hold on.
OMG.
I would check your family members. Because this is the reason why I'm saying this. To make people really understand completely what I'm saying. To me, it's strange that if I was to tell one of my family members that the reason my wife don't show up because she don't celebrate Christmas is because, listen, she don't celebrate Christmas because she celebrate Hanukkah, or, you know what I'm saying, it's not, she has part Muslim in her religion, and I tell you that at one Christmas, if you ask me that the next Christmas, me and you finna have a problem because now you just poking the bell. People are doing that to you because they are poking at you, and that means family members too. I don't have to explain myself over and over again, so that I'm clearing your conscience out, because if they doing that shit to you, they poking at your ass, and that's where you need to check your family members at, because it's not one time if I show up somewhere and I tell them, man, she don't celebrate Christmas. She's part Muslim, you know what I'm saying? So she don't celebrate that. So she will not be at none of these Christmas events. And you ask me that shit next year, Uncle Fred gonna leave there with a black eye. You know what I'm saying? Because you poking the bell. I'm telling you, like that's what it is.
And see, these are things that men know. I would have never. I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you, but this is a new thing. This is like an enlightenment. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe they are poking the bell.
Yeah, they poke
especially if the guy isn't around, particularly on holidays to begin with. That's the way it started. Then I can understand that's them saying, "Girl, he ain't show up again. Where your husband at, girl?"
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. And to me, that's what's making you mad, and they know that. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things.
But let me ask you this: I feel like again, men expect you to walk through the hard stuff when they can make it so easy. To me, the easiest thing is, baby, I know I don't celebrate Christmas. I know I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but I know it's important to you, so I'm going to go. Minus religious beliefs, because I know that's another thing. But if it's related to, I never had a good Christmas. Valentine's Day years ago killed a whole bunch of people. Your ass don't even know. Okay?
Well, I know one person.
So,
I'm
of course. But why is it that men will expect you to go through that and be prepared for that? Oh, they just poking the bear. Just get ready to cuss them out. Why are they saying go down that road instead of them saying, well, I'm going to go down this road with you and we're going to have this holiday together, even it's a sacrifice on my part. I'm going to sacrifice for you and go. So my question to you is, all this stuff you just said is a hard road to walk with your family. It can be, I agree with you, and it can be done, and it absolutely should be done. But the opposite side of that is just go with me. And that, to me, is an easier decision to make than to send this person out to their family to get in a fight on Christmas Day because we know somebody going to ask.
Gotcha. This is simple. Real simple. Men can, or anybody can, make it that simple. But the reality of it is we all have free will, and if you just don't want to, you don't want to. Because it's as simple as if a man wanted to have extracurricular sex with somebody else other than you, and he'll be like, hey, this makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for the woman to be like, hey, just go out there and just do it. You know what I'm saying? That'll make you happy.
Are you really using this as an example?
Yeah, it's a relevant example because I want to use something that's so high up on the list that it would make the woman make an ultimate sacrifice. I ain't talking about no little sacrifice, because that would be an ultimate sacrifice if the woman was to be like, the man come to them and be like, listen, it would just really make me happy if, you know what I'm saying, I just need some extracurricular coochie, you know what I'm saying, to help me out. So it's an extracurricular coochie to help me out. And the woman could just make it simple and just lay down and just be like, you know what, you're right. But because they don't want to, because they feel a certain way, they're not going to do it. And that's the exact same thing with this holiday.
But that's not a drama. Wanting extracurricular coochie ain't come from no trauma in your life.
Shit.
What the?
Shit. See, and that's the thing. See, that's the thing. See, trauma to other people. They always trying to minimize your trauma, and that's the thing that I'm that's the thing that that's what I'm talking about right now. So this is the thing.
This is not real.
Like this is like not this. So I'm gonna give you a scenario. I've sacrificed that shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I tell my woman, look, man, I don't want to go to this Christmas party. You know what I'm saying? Not really in the mood for it, this and that. And you know what ends up happening? The man goes to the party. You know what I'm saying? She drags his ass to the goddamn party. You know what I'm saying? Now he's in the party. But unlike your jolly ass wife or your girlfriend that's going around mingling with everybody, you sitting at a chair, and you know what I'm saying? And everybody comes by and asks you what's wrong with you. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Fester come by. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? Your mama sitting there. What's wrong with him? Like, why are you sitting there like that? You know what I'm saying? You could have left my ass at home when I told you I didn't want to come to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But to make you happy, you still answering the same questions now that you was going to ask in my absence. What's wrong with him? Why he ain't here? You still answering the exact same question. So you could have left my ass at home when I told you not to bring me, and instead, everybody is coming by, and then know what the argument is on the way home? Well, why you had to be like that? Like, you could have, I told you not to bring me to this party. I didn't feel like mingling because I didn't want to mingle. And the majority of the time, when women bring you to these parties, there's no other man there. It's just you and a whole bunch of women. They granddad, they great-great-granddad, there's some old dude you have nothing related to talk to about or any of that type of shit. There's no other man in sight. It's just you and 20 women.
This is trauma right here. Obviously. It's trauma. It is trauma. All right, we're in the tap in portion. No, we didn't. Is that our wrap up? I think that's good enough for a wrap up. So yeah, we're supposed to do opinions at the end, but I think we did that. The tap in. We just got this tap in. The Tampa. Brady retired today. It's on my phone.
Right.
So, we had a phone call, and this young lady mentioned a 50-50 partnership. And if we all listen to relationship podcasts right now, that is a big topic of conversation, that women are looking for a 50-50 partnership. And I do think that itself has been adapted from trauma. Women who have been single moms, who have taking on the gender role of being a man, paying all the bills, taking out the trash, they feel like now, because they've been holding down all that shit, if they get someone, they want someone that's equal. That's just how it is. I think that adaptation comes from trauma. Now, she's a young lady, so her trauma was adapted from looking at her mama. Her mama's a workhorse, work hard, always has a job, you know what I'm saying, takes care of the family, does everything herself. So I think she sees that and says, well, when I get a man, he need to do more or better. This gonna be equal. You understand what I'm saying? That's the what she's adapted, and I just think that comes from trauma. So from that call came the tap in on, should it be that way? Should I be looking for someone who's my equal? My answer to that is absolutely. I'm really. It is a blurred line for me, because I don't want to tell someone, hey, don't shoot for the stars. Don't shoot for someone who's equal or better. I don't want to say that, but I also don't want to say don't ignore the person who has a whole bunch of potential because he's not your equal yet. Maybe he makes less. Maybe you make more. That's not a reason to turn your back on who that person is. There's no reason for you to go into something looking for everything to be equal, because you're going to run into a situation where it's not. You really like the person, but he's not up to your standard as far as maybe what you make or what you contribute to the household, but he has other things in place that make you happy. I don't think that person should be neglected. And I know for a fact you're going to say, so I'm going to say it before you, men aren't looking for partners. They're looking for wives, and wives should be naturally submissive. So you cook, you clean. I don't care if your bank account has more money or not. You adopt the role of a good little wife, and you let your husband be a husband, whether your bank account says 100,000 or his says 50.
You know, the problem with this a lot of times is, we spoke about this a couple of shows back, is gender wars. And in this day and age, not all, on both sides, men are not being men and women are not being women. And that's just the reality of what it boils down to. In a relationship, there's no such thing as 50-50. A lot of people, goes into this shit and start making up these technicalities about like who make money and all this type of shit. To be perfectly honest with you, whoever fucking makes money is not don't have to necessarily be the head of the household. What I'm saying is there's always going to be a head, though. There's someone who's leading, and then there's someone who's going to take the back route, the VP, the vice president. And typically, it's going to be the man, because most women, regardless of whatever the fuck they say, I make the most money.
They don't want to be president.
I do all this type of shit, this and that. Women do not want to lead.
Right.
You can have a woman right now that makes the majority of the money. You know what I'm saying? They work, they can have a career, this and that. They man could go to 7-Eleven, scratch off, and get $7 million. That bitch gonna quit her job. I do not give a fuck what's happening. You know what I'm saying? If the woman don't have to work, she fucking won't. And then she's gonna assume the role of the woman and what she's supposed to do. A lot of the problems now is women are not being taught to be women. You know what I'm saying? They're just not. And I had this conversation with this person and told him, like, you're absolutely right. Men are not looking for partners. Women who believe that shit in their mind, I'm telling y'all now, y'all gonna end up alone. You know what I'm saying? Because men are not looking for partners. They're looking for wives. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is technicalities in this. There are a lot of women gonna be like, no, man, I did too much to build yourself up. Yeah, you built it up to have it and not to give it to the wrong person. But to me, that's just like your vagina. When I said this a couple of episodes back, you know, mismanaging your pussy comes into play. So you have to know dating, how to pick men would put you in a better position than talking about this 10% of men that ain't shit that you talking about gonna lead you somewhere. Y'all know when y'all meet them and y'all having sex with them and all this type of shit that these motherfuckers are not marriage material. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be in these relationships for like 10 years, some shit like that. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the man you do want. Concentrate on that. The man you do want. And to me, it's not going to be a partnership. Because if he's a real man, he's going to know how to lead. There is no 50-50 partnership.
You heard him. And if you have any questions or comments that you want us to address in the tap-in, make sure you email Mr. Alpha Male God at spadeperry@gmail.com. My name is Kaynah Lassiter, and you can find me at IG, Twitter, at Kaynah Lassiter.
And you can find your boy on both platforms, on Twitter and IG. You know it's 51 Spade. I want to thank everybody for joining live in on TikTok. Hey, we back. The new season is back. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel Relations. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank everybody for joining me on Podbean. And you look, you know, the brand new stick right here. You know what I'm saying? This is for winter wear. You know what I'm saying?
It is for
what is for? Winter wear. So you can find that at www.alphamalegodcreations.com or go to the IG Alpha Male God Creations. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to sign us out like I always do. Peace.
Yeah, you're going to sign them out, but you got a question. Ozen. I was in a FWB. I don't know what that is. Relationship.
Friends with benefits.
All right. After a few months, she said she stopped messing with me because I didn't help.
Okay, this is a good one.
Yeah,
We're not beneficial.
Run it.
Yeah, this is a very good comment.
Okay.
He didn't help, meaning, okay, she let him come smash. Her phone bill is due, and he can't help. The phone go off. If you call your homegirl for the money, your homegirl gonna be like, James can't give you $40?
Oh, and there we have it. Stop.
James, you can't smash and not help, bro.
But
5150.
But the question is he saying he didn't help or he couldn't help?
He couldn't help. He said, I don't know whether did he use the word couldn't or he didn't.
Because that's the question.
That's the key word now.
Yeah,
that would change. He didn't help.
Didn't help. So
he wrong. He wrong.
No, you're not.
How?
Hold on.
Oh my God! I can't believe you're even saying this.
No, you're not. Now, listen. This is. Hold on.
Burn my biscuits.
Hold on. Okay, burn them up. And this is the thing. Now, this is the thing. Friends with benefits, often, and this is why I be saying most people don't have code. Friends with benefit is no strings attached. No strings attached means no strings attached. That means financially. That means anything else. Only thing we doing is smashing. So, no, he is not wrong. So that's why I asked the key question. If he didn't or couldn't, that's two different things. But when there's no strings attached, we only there for smashing. Because if that shit was in reverse and he say, hey, I'm fucking you, you know, you be in my house all the time, but I'm short on my rent. That bitch gonna say, it's no strings attached.
So to be an FWB just equals sex? Benefits?
Yeah, friends with benefits is just sex.
So we're going to extend it? We're going to extend it? So that's what we're going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what we're going to do.
Coochie is a gift.
That's it.
Okay.
And whenever I let you come smash,
Wait,
I'm giving you, I'm blessing you. Coochie is a gift. Every time you come smash, I'm doing you a fucking favor. If I ask you for $40 to pay my fucking phone bill, you better help me. And if my